Okay, so how are you, first of all?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well myself. So first, I want to just start off wondering how you got into TikTok because I some TikTokers have gotten into it through other platforms and switched over from Vine to now. So how did you get into it?
Well, it started back in like July of 2015, actually.
Really?
So yeah, before it was even TikTok, it was Musically.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't even remember. That was like 6 years ago, so I don't exactly remember how I stumbled upon it. But I think it was just an app that I saw, and I just downloaded it, and I've just been posting on it ever since.
Right. And did you have a large since you have such a large following now? Is that your full time job now?
I would like it to be, but sadly, no, because TikTok hasn't been showing my stuff as much as it used to. Because I mean, it's kind of TikTok, but it's just something that happens. I'm hoping that I can get back up there, and that's something I would love to do as like a full time job. But for right now, it's currently not.
Right. And is there any other platforms that you're on more too?
I'm on Instagram and Snapchat and Twitter sometimes, but
Do
yeah.
um, and was there any other schooling that you did or anything like that, or has it just been?
No, I just graduated high school at semester, and that's about it.
Oh, nice. So since you do have another job outside of TikTok, what was that?
Right now, I'm doing roadie and DoorDash, which
Nice.
so basically I'm delivering groceries and also food. I'm
Nice.
doing part of roadie right now, which is delivering basically mostly Walmart orders to
Hmm.
people. So that's what I'm currently doing as of now.
Right. So since you can make some kind of income off of TikTok, what was a video that you posted, whether it be on Music Lily or over here, that you realized you could really build a following and make your full time or try to get to a full time
Yeah.
job? Yeah.
Um, I'm not sure exactly what one because I started taking off kind of at the beginning of 2018 ish. And I think I just did a lot of comedy videos to where it would just go from cut to cut to cut about like from different parts of the song, and I'd be like just doing goofy stuff. And that's what people liked, but since it's kind of changed now, it's not as much of what people do. My like I think the most recent one that completely blew up was my one that I did for water parks. The I miss having sex, but at least I don't die anymore. Cause and that just it blew my mind when that blew up.
Yeah.
So
It's one trending song, right? Just can do that for you.
yeah.
Um, so with that, hold on, oh, God, I had something. Okay, so I'm gonna move past it because I had that you said something, so I'm just gonna move on. Outside of that, you obviously we're gonna talk. Oh, other content creators. Who do you follow? Are you friends with? How does that work?
um, I have quite a few people that I don't really talk to a lot of people on. I used to have a lot more internet friends than I do now. Um, right now, I really just talk to my boyfriend. So, um, but I follow mostly kind of grungy people, if you can kind of say like people who have that kind of aesthetic, and like I'll just like the emo kind of aesthetic, or if they're the LGBT. I don't really have any specifics coming to my brain now,
Mm-hmm.
but I that's the community that I stick with because obviously I'm more comfortable with those people.
Yes, I can see that. Is it just, do you follow them anywhere on YouTube or anything like that, or are you just a main TikToker?
I'll follow them on Instagram depending
Mm-hmm.
on the person,
Okay.
but yeah.
All right. So we talked a little bit earlier about other things that you're interested in outside of TikTok, TV shows, things like that. Um, you're really into How I Met Your Mother. So
Yeah.
For the longest time, that was
I just recently got into it.
Really? So I
yeah.
can't recommend anything for you yet.
Yeah, because I think I'm almost done with season 6. I've watched like bits and pieces of it like on TV, and I've always liked the show, but I've just never taken the time to full on like binge watch it, and that's what I've been doing for the past few months is watch How I Met Your Mother for like a month or so.
I love that. Yeah, I watch that thing all the time. I don't, but now I can't tell you the ending.
I know. It's so sad. Like I'm just trying to get there. Can you stop trying to eat my Oreos? Thank you.
And then movie-wise, you said Edward Scissorhands and anything with Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
So Tim Burton, then you're a big Tim Burton fan, and that was like, I love it. I love that. So was it Nightmare Before Christmas too?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that was my favorite. I don't know if you watched on Netflix. There's like a behind the scene kind of thing, and it did like a whole how it was made thing, but quicker than like YouTube does it for you.
I never saw that.
You should. I highly recommend. It's really actually entertaining, and I'm not like unless it's about like serial killers. I'm not really into documentaries.
Yeah.
I actually thoroughly enjoyed. So I think you should watch that.
Okay, I will definitely watch that. I didn't even know that was a thing.
So. Yeah, it's like it also did one on Elf too. It was really cool, and the way they like cut it, I think you would find interesting because I mean I did so. And then we're gonna talk about music for a little bit.
Okay.
So you mentioned all the bands that you listen to, but like, how did you get here? Because there's got to be a gateway, right? Like. We all have gateway bands, even if you don't listen to them anymore. Like, how did you end up in the music scene?
I don't know if you're gonna hate me for saying this, but my gateway band was Falling in Reverse.
No.
Yeah, and Hollywood Undead. Those two bands were the bands.
I could see for sure. I don't hate you for saying Falling in Reverse because I thoroughly enjoy Falling in Reverse. Like,
it's like we were just talking about it before. Yeah. And I was like, that's my gateway band.
Well, did you listen to Escape the Fate then when he was fronting that?
I don't think I was there yet when he was there because I started when I was in 7th grade is when I started listening to music like that.
Okay, yeah.
Cannot do math to tell you how long ago that was, but
yeah, we need to kind of think. I don't remember how old I was when I started. But I definitely started off with The Drug in Me Is You, and that myself back to Escape the Fate, because I always escape the fate.
That's what I did.
And I was like, oh, there was another singer, like, before you get completely into it, you're like, oh, bands had other singers besides the one that's there now, that was like kind of my thing. And so going back, like, Dying Is Your Latest Fashion is a good album, and
it is.
I definitely really do enjoy Falling in Reverse. So, I mean, that's a good gateway move. But also Hollywood Undead.
Yeah. Both of them came from the same person. It was the guy that I was dating at the time. And we were at a skating rink. And he decided to sing a whole song by Hollywood Undead to me at the skating rink. But it was like the... What?
Was he good at singing? Did you like that?
It was like one of the dirtiest songs that they have, and they don't even have it on Spotify. Like, and I was like, what is going on? I was in 7th grade. I was like, not about to happen. But yeah, he also introduced Falling in Reverse to me as well, so it all just kind of started from him.
Right. Whatever. I was just a nerd that sat on my computer a lot, just on hands, and now we're here, so it's fine. It paid off in the end, right?
Yeah.
But as far as other bands, you like Water Parks.
They are my number one favorite band and have been for the past like 4 or 5 years.
How'd you find them?
They were going on tour with All Time Low, and I was going to that concert, and I was like, I'm going to check out the bands like a few months prior to the concert. So I checked out Water Parks, and I was like, I'm in love with them. Like,
Yeah. What was that? Was that Double Dare? I can't remember.
Yeah. Double Dare. And the first song I listened to by them was Hawaii.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's what I have the funniest water park story. Why? And they were opening for Sleeping with Sirens with State Champs when I saw them, and I went because I wanted to see State Champs more than Sleeping with Sirens. But I mean, Sleeping with Sirens always a great show regardless. But
Yeah.
time we were there, like at that time, I think I was like 20 maybe, so I was still like in a phase where I was like, oh, I'm still too cool for Sleeping with Sirens now, but like no, like they're great. And I was wanted to see State Champs again, and there was these girls there, like they were like younger girls, and they had on like crowns for royal, you know, like they were like really like repping this band. I'm like, okay, well I need to know now because you're repping them so hard, it must be good. And I was like really depending on hating it, you know, like I just judging on that and the name alone, I was like, I'm gonna hate this, but like let's
yeah.
And I loved it. Oh, I fell in love with them, and it's always great, like finding bands you can fall in love with at a show. So I definitely relate to you on that.
Yeah, and me, like, that being my favorite band and also me being the one to blow up that one song. Yeah, I had. Yeah, every once in a while I'll work with Hopeless Records, and they were with Hopeless Records obviously for their last album, and they had me like try to promote Dream Boy and stuff like that, and I did. It kind of got somewhere, but then obviously I just did that song and it went viral.
I think Dream Boy is really good. It's a really good, catchy, fun song, but I think everyone loves the edginess of I'm Just Happy. Like, come on, like you can't. You know, you feel so edgy, like, as a 12-year-old listening to that, I can even imagine. So, like, younger audiences are like, oh, I'm so cool for listening to this song. So, I think they didn't, if you think about it from that, like, marketing standpoint. Like,
yeah, I understood it, and I liked the concept of it. Just on TikTok, it just didn't blow up as we were hoping it would.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, Dream Boy's fun. It's not as fun.
Yeah, it's not as fun as I miss having sex. But...
like it's not as fun. And then you have All Time Low that we're super interested in. I'm also a big All Time Low fan myself, so they were actually one of my gateway bands. So mine was Fall Out Boy, and I said this on my last interview too, because that's my favorite band of all time, and maybe Pete Wentz will see this, and you know. But Fall Out Boy was my gateway band, and it opened up so many doors, and it led me to the Believers Never Die tour, with like Metro Station opening for them and All Time Low and Hey Monday all together. So like to this day, and Cobra Starship was there too. So like that was one of the best tours. I wish I could go back in time and see now. But that's how I found All Time Low, and it's just bands like that just open up just a world for you because it's just this like door. It's like, oh, here's this band, here's that band. So they're great. And MGK.
I feel bad that I didn't listen to him like quite a bit beforehand because I also love Eminem. And like
we all do. All the Gen Z's coming for him right now. Don't.
Yeah. Well, I've listened to him since 5th grade, which is kind of weird to say, being Eminem, me listening to him in 5th grade. My mom somehow got a hold of, I think it was The Recovery, or I can't remember the album specifically, but had an album, and we listened to it all the time. Of course, the clean versions, because I was in 5th grade. But that just caught me onto Eminem, and then once the whole thing with them happened, I was like, kind of iffy with MGK. And then all of a sudden, The Dirt comes out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he's in it. And that's what made me fall in love with him, was that movie, because I love that movie.
Yeah, no, and I think it's really cool that he does have, like, a very strong, like, rock background.
Yeah.
And the album is very, for people that are into pop punk, like, you know that it's very, generic, but at the same time, it's like that's a very good gateway for fans that are like, oh, I really like this sound. That it's like, oh, you can like lead into like get way more in depth with it. So I think it's a very good record, right? Like, how do you feel about it?
I love his new album. I listen to it daily, basically.
Good.
So Yeah, it's all of the songs are just so good, and then him with Black Bear as well together is they work very well together. So
Right. Yeah, no, they do. And then Black Bear was also on All Time Low song.
yeah, which I was excited about that one too.
Yeah, how that's charting right now, like
Yeah,
top songs and stuff.
yeah, with Demi Lovato in the new version of it too.
I love songs like that where you can make multiples of it and it just
Uh,
keeps working. Like I love when I first heard that song Monsters is what it's called. Chills, just straight chills, and it's like such a simply good song. There's nothing too crazy about it. It's just such a good song.
I agree.
Definitely respect that. And then Lil Peep.
Yeah, he's another. I have so many people that I listen to now that I just can I just didn't listen to a long time ago. Like I'm sad I didn't listen to him until after he passed away.
Yeah.
Like, and I got into him through my friend Kelsey, who would just play him constantly, and then that just got me into him as well. So now I listen to all of his stuff and like the stuff that they keep releasing, all of his music that he got done before he passed away.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, and I also think it's really cool. Like it kind of leads back to the whole MGK thing. Like the rap stuff is for me, it's the way they do it is still like kind of grungy, but like there's some kind of like rock undertone to it that like I love. It's the same thing with Lil Peep too. So he has like one song that I like love. It's like Text Me.
Yeah.
And I don't. It's just I'm obsessed with it. There's nothing in particular, but I definitely I know what you're saying. So you are here with me from Manic Records.
Yeah.
So what bands from Manic who are you listening to?
Like New Age Affair, I think is the main band that I would say that I listen to. I've also liked songs from like Right On Kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't like gotten. I like the bands, like I've listened to them, but it's just like I think I've just been such like on a certain streak that like recently I haven't listened to as much of what I used to listen to, just because I'm listening to a lot of new music right now because I'm just trying to get a lot of like the new music. But New Age Affair is a band that I enjoyed quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. I also enjoy that. So we've discussed you as a TikToker and all that stuff, but like, how are you just on a day-to-day, personality-wise? You know, you flip on the camera and you have to be a certain kind of person. You know, like they're expecting that out of everybody. So who are you when the camera goes off? Like, what do you do?
I honestly, all I really do is I do roadie and I hang out with my boyfriend. I mean, we live together, so we kind of we like to play games a lot. Like we have a bunch of like board games and card games that we play. So we do that while watching TV and play with our cats. We bought our newest cat Arlo, which is the one you saw earlier. Yeah. We bought him a harness so we can try to train him a harness. So we can take him.
So cute. I love that.
Yeah, we're crazy cat dads, as you can tell. We have 4. So
yeah, you have 4 cats. Are they all fostered cats, or do you?
So the one that I came with originally is Horizon, and he came from my aunt, which breeds and sells cats like him. He's a Napoleon, so he's like a mixture of like a Munchkin cat and a Persian cat.
And nice little guy. I love that.
Big eyes. So I got him for my birthday like 5 years ago.
Aww.
And then my boyfriend had 2 before I came. One he actually just got a week before I got there, before we met. And then we adopted Arlo from PetSmart, originally like a humane shelter. We went in there not expecting to buy animals, just to go look. And
that's how I ended up with my first dog. I volunteered at an animal shelter, and they were like giving them away for $75. I'm like, give me that one. He was like, oh, hello. Is that the new one?
Yeah, this is Arlo.
Aww.
He's like the biggest cuddle bug, but he's also the biggest crackhead out of all of our cats.
He's so cute. Well, I love that. I love that your little cat family is growing for you.
Yeah. It's not gonna stop too.
Right.
Yeah.
You said earlier that you would like to make TikTok and social media your full-time job. Do you have any other goals with that? Like, do you have other brands you want to work with? Other like you work like we work together. Like we you do stuff for us. Is there other things like that you're trying to pursue for yourself?
I don't know about any specific places, but I would. Can you? Well, thank you. He's a mess. Anyway, um, so I lost my train of thought.
No, you're okay.
um, wow. Repeat the question. Sorry,
Okay.
my cat completely
I was questioning, is there any other brands, like how any one other ones that you would want? Like you're kind of like gunning for, like that's what you want.
I don't have any specifics. I don't think. I mainly would like to work with a lot of like either LGBT based brands or like record labels, like Manic Records, and like I was working with like Hopeless Records at one point.
Mm-hmm.
I think I also did something for Fearless Records at one point too, but I haven't worked with them for a minute because Water Parks isn't with Hopeless anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But they still like try to get me to do things for like Neck Deep and like All Time Low. Like I'll do things for those bands, specifically more Neck Deep. But those are like the people that I really want to try to get a hold of. Is just like LGBT brands, and then also other record labels or anything that involves like music at all.
Cool. That's really cool. I like that. And then since you have Manic, I mean, it's this is like kind of like hard to explain, I feel like, with your platform, but since you managed to gain such a following and you do work with these labels and how do you describe it when you talk to a person that wants to do what you're doing? Like, how do you tell them to get into it?
I'd probably just say just work as hard as you can to get up to it, because I mean, if you're not going to work on it, then you're not going to get there. So you got to work on yourself and make sure you like yourself and get the confidence to reach out to these people, and you just hope for the best, honestly, because sometimes people will answer, sometimes people don't, and then sometimes people will come to you, and when people come to you, it makes you even more excited about things because you're just like, wow, these people actually, like, they're reaching out to me, so they actually really want me. And I think you just got to be yourself and be confident in yourself.
Right. It's always the best way. Just be confident in yourself. You know, you have to put yourself out there, right?
Yeah, you have to put yourself out there.
And so I don't really have much else for you tonight. So if you want a social plug, go crazy. Where you are, where we can find you, everything you want people to know about you right now. If you have anything coming up that we should be looking out for, go for it. What can you tell us?
I don't think I really have much coming up currently. I'm just trying to put out more content as much as I can with how much I'm like working. The good thing about working with Rody though is that it's flexible, so you can do it on your time. But I don't think I have much. I don't think I have anything coming up besides me trying to make more content and better content on TikTok specifically. I'm really trying to get back into that. So, but I mean, TikTok is Tyler.Miles.
Yeah, so, follow him there.
Yeah, Tyler.Miles with MYLES, not MILES. Instagram is Tyler_Miles. Both of the Y's are X's. My Snapchat is Tyler is lame with two E's at the end of lame. Uh, Twitter's Tyler Miles with two S's at the end of it. Sadly, can't have all the same. I wish I could have all the same platforms.
Like mine changes. Like I have to put two. Like my name's Tabitha, sometimes I have to put two S's. Sometimes I have to. Would like to put one, or sometimes I have to lose an M and it throws everybody off, and I'm just like,
I know.
I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Of
really
course.
enjoy talking to you about everything. So we'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.